I'm 3 weeks into starting testosterone replacement therapy, and I've just had probably both my best week and my worst week. So I've just come back from my workout this morning, and I do a workout at least 3 times a week. I try to get 4 in, but usually I can't do it because my body is struggling. I struggle to get to the work out in my little home gym here. It's a drag. It's so hard to get through the session. It only goes for like 30 minutes. However, this morning, I had the best workout that I have had in years. I felt strong. My knees felt quite good. I have a lot of trouble with my knees, with tendonitis and some meniscus issues. My knees were close to 100% today. I was able to do all of my lower body workout, which usually I would have to skip at least half of it, sometimes entirely, because my knees couldn't handle it. I felt strong. I wanted to keep going. I actually had to hold myself back to make sure I had to cap it at that 30 minutes so that I didn't overdo it. I didn't want to get overly optimistic and think I can just push this to the bitter end. Because my experience at 38 years old is that usually you can only get away with that maybe one time before it catches up with you. So I don't want to injure myself this early in. So for week 3, that pretty much caps out the positives. I've got a lot of negatives this week, and I want to add, I do think that there has been some element of placebo effect in my previous positive effects that I mentioned in the earlier videos. Part of that, I think, is because I really desperately want this to be the answer to a lot of problems that I have. I want testosterone to be a cure-all. And I have to come to the acceptance that it's not as simple as that. It's not as easy as that. The stage of life that I'm in is challenging. I have 2 young kids and a newborn now. My sleep isn't perfect because it's constantly disrupted by young children. Finances are tight, and I have to work full-time to support my family in a stressful job. I'm studying part-time so that my future career path is better, so that I have a larger earning potential. There's a lot of stress. And I have to work hard, and my wife and I have to work hard to maintain our relationship and maintain connection during this all. This stage of life is fucking hard. And testosterone, I have to accept, may not cure it all. But I digress. The negatives. So it's funny because the day I had scheduled the last video to post, that was my 2-week update where I had outlined a lot of positives. And I specifically said, I haven't noted any negatives as yet. That day was where I really definitely noticed some negatives. There have been 2 or 3 days where I have woken up just wired, just amped, motivated, but in a bad way. Anxious and borderline panic attack sort of levels of anxiety in the morning. That has evened off as the day goes on, and working out helps releasing some of that energy. But that's something I don't really ever experience, and I can only really put it down to perhaps the combination of just the extra stress and pressure and sleep deprivation of a newborn plus TRT. I did do some Googling, and apparently that can be a side effect in the early days as the body is adapting and adjusting to the consistent increase in testosterone levels in the body. Another negative that I've noticed more so in week 3 is moodiness. And I'm moody at the best of times, but this has been excessive moodiness. For example, right now, I just came from my workout. I'm feeling fantastic. I'm actually feeling really good in this moment. 1 hour ago, I was really not pleasant to be around. And I feel for my kids because I took it out on my kids this morning. Doesn't help that they were constantly bickering and fighting, One of them's 6 and one of them's 3.5. And from the get-go, I opened my eyes and they were fighting. That's no excuse. I was incredibly grumpy. I snapped at them a number of times. More so than I usually would have. And I did apologize for that to both of my children as I dropped them off. One's at daycare today and one's at vacation care. But I was in a particularly bad mood. And I have noticed probably 2 to 3 out of the last 7 days, incredible moodiness. Low, grumpy, flat, depressed. However, that can change quite quickly to elated, joyful, fine, calm. And it's quite it's quite disconcerting that I feel slightly out of control, more out of control of my emotions right now than I have been prior to TRT. So I do think that TRT is contributing to that. Once again, the body is adapting, it is adjusting. These hormones do lots of different things. I was reading about how it affects serotonin, norepinephrine in the brain, dopamine. It makes sense that there's an adjustment period for these hormones coming into the body. Which leads me into the final part of this video. And what I would say here is if you're enjoying this journey or enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe and comment. I like to hear about what the guys who are watching these videos are going through. I've decided that I'm going to not do another update until week 6. Week 6 is when I get the lab and blood results back for kind of an assessment period to see how my testosterone levels are sitting. It's a period of where testosterone in the body is kind of hitting a bit more of an equilibrium. I'll do another video update then, because what I'm finding is I'm obsessing over what TRT might or might not be doing for my emotional state, for my physiological state. And it's not helpful at this stage. It's too hard to tell. 1 week at a time in the first 6 weeks for an update is not a reliable amount of time to really give any real changes. So I'll wait till week 6 and I'll update from there. In the meantime though, I plan on putting other video content out. I am a father. I am training to become a psychologist. I have a soft spot for fatherhood, manhood, mental health in men, and how to be a better father. And my content's going to focus a lot on that. So please like, please subscribe, please comment below, and I hope to see more of you soon.